So what's up, guys? Chain Reaction here, coming at you with another one. Today's topic is something I've been kind of fighting with for a while now. And anyone who's been following me for any length of time, who's watched a few of my videos, know I'm sort of a proponent for don't necessarily upgrade your bike, master what you have, all that, but every rider gets to the point where then you start thinking about it. Now I don't have the level of conceit where I think I've outgrown this bike or anything like that, but there have been times where this bike's shortcomings have started to bother me more than they used to, particularly in the power department. There's a rev limiter right there. So I'm thinking we may be coming to the end of the road. With my journey with the Ninja 400. So this is kind of going to be my sort of post-review after action report on this bike for the 3 years and 7,000 miles I've owned it. And this is actually a pretty good place to start, because one of the things a lot of people say in criticism of small displacement bikes is they can't handle the highway. Well, here we are, 6th gear, 90 miles an hour. About a little over 8,000 RPM. And she's just pulling right along. Wind's not really a problem. Still got power to pass, even without downshifting. About the only caveat I will say to that is a lot of these small displacement bikes, the Ninja 400s in particular, are pretty lightweight. This bike's about 360-ish pounds, wet, ready to ride. And she does have a tendency to get pushed around a bit by the wind. But it's not bad. I mean, if you know how to mitigate some of that, you'll be fine. I had planned on doing the whole 5 things I love about the Ninja 400, 5 things I hate about the Ninja 400, and all that, like pretty much every channel does, but never quite got around to it. Besides, I've been dealing with some stuff past several months. Stubborn back injury that doesn't seem to be wanting to heal, and personal things, and I guess I kind of lost my fire for the whole content creation thing for a while. And of course, part of that may have been just getting bored of the bike. And for a long time, I called bullshit on that very premise that no, there's no such thing as getting bored of the bike. You're just a boring rider and all that. But I think there's some truth to it, actually. Just in case that was gravel. Hey, red means stop, man. Ooh. I think I got the clutch a little hot. So, if someone is looking for a starter bike, this is a great option. They're pretty affordable, especially if you look to find deals. Reliable. The ergos are great for a beginner if you're just dead set on starting on a sport bike, as these things are essentially a standard bike with fairings. Even the R3 is more of a quote-unquote sport bike than this thing is, but it's the one thing I've always said about the Ninja 400 is it's very much a jack of all trades. It's not particularly good at any one thing, but what it does pretty well. I mean, it's super comfortable, particularly speaking from the standpoint of an older rider who's got at least one back issue. It gets incredible gas mileage. So this thing is perfect for commuting. Handles the highway just fine if you're not trying to challenge Chuck Yeager's record on breaking the sound barrier. And if you're a young kid who gets one of these and you're concerned about keeping up with bigger bikes, don't. I mean, yeah, in a straight line, super sports are going to blow past you like you're parked, but in the corners, absolute power doesn't matter nearly as much. That's when it really comes down to bike weight, suspension, and rider skill. And as a beginner rider, I would be far more concerned about building up the said skills versus trying to quote-unquote keep up. Not to get macabre here, but trying to keep up has been the end of many young riders' riding careers. So points to this bike's favor: it's light, it's comfortable. The low power level makes it very approachable for novice riders, particularly those who might have a slight touch of nerves. It's reliable, and if you have to fix it, parts are cheap. And probably the best point in this thing's favor is they hold their value pretty well. You take care of it, you do your maintenance and all of that, you pretty much turn around and sell one of these for what you bought it for. Now, the negatives. The obvious one would be power. These things are a 400cc, 180 degree parallel twin, making approximately 45-ish horsepower. They're not fast, at least compared to other bikes. So just accept that going in. Second is these things are known for clutch and transmission issues, some of which I've experienced myself. Now, these are issues that can be fixed, but you have to ask yourself, unless you're actually building one of these to be a track bike, is it worth sinking the money into it to fix the transmission issues in a 400? Most people would say no. And because this thing is running smaller width tires, sometimes finding tires can be a problem. But it's not something I've ever experienced. And suspension and brakes are... Let's just be honest, this bike is essentially a parts bin special. So the best you could say about either is they're adequate. But if you start pushing this thing towards its limits, you start running into issues. The front brakes in stock form have a bad habit of fading when you're pushing the bike hard. Now, there are things that you can do to mitigate that. Different pads, better brake fluid. But at the end of the day, you've got a single-sided brake, one rotor, one caliper. So it's not going to be as efficient in a performance setting as a twin brake setup. And the suspension is, you've got standard forks. The only adjustability is in the rear shock, and that's for preload. I mean, as far as motorcycle suspension goes, it's very basic. I mean, I would say it's extremely capable for what it is, but it's certainly not as nice as what you might find on bikes like the RS457, the R7, etc. Especially not as what you're going to find on super sports. Even the ZX4RR or even the ZX4R, not even the double R, has much better components suspension-wise. So after my 7,000 miles on this thing, would I recommend this bike to a brand new rider? Oh, definitely. For 99% of the riding you're going to be doing on the street, this thing is perfectly adequate. It works. But if you have any intentions on performance riding one of these, there are issues that will need to be addressed. That being said, I do not regret my purchase at all. But that being said, I will probably be saying goodbye to this bike in the near future. Just, I spent 3 years riding this thing, and I feel like it's time to move on. Now, what might I get to replace it? Most people in this position will just jump right up to a Super Sport to go from a 400 to the inline 4 600 or higher. I don't feel like I need to do that, quite honestly. I was more thinking something along the lines of the R7, RS660. A bike with a little bit better componentry, suspension, specifically in suspension and brakes. I mean, when I first got into bikes, I loved the sound of inline fours, but a 270-degree twin does have a pretty nice sound to it. Right on top. So now I'll do a little shopping around. For a while I was kind of dead set in the ZX4RR, but I started hearing about engine problems with them, so I think I'm going to take a wait and see approach on that. Whereas with the R7 specifically, the CP2 engine is a known quantity. And Yamaha does make pretty good engines, so I feel like that would be a fairly safe bet. That and the R7 has been out for a few years now, so any issues it might have, it's probably been dealt with by now. Shit. I don't have time to get around him. Well, anyway, it's about time that you'll strap on the old ball and chain here. So, in conclusion, it's been a great bike. I would definitely recommend it. And don't take my criticism on it as a knock on the bike. It's just the things you'll notice. If you spend any time, any ownership time with it. And as far as what I do next, well, all I can say is stay tuned. I fully plan on getting back into the game here and hoping to bring some more content to you guys. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you made this far, thanks for staying. Please like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. And I'll catch you on the flip side. This is Chain Reaction. Out.